just quick recap. What is Boss Mode? Boss Mode gives you everything in the Pro Unlimited plan. Gives you unlimited words a month. It gives you increased vision, where the Jarvis can actually see 3 to 5 times more characters, and I'll explain what that is and show you some examples there. Unlocks the compose button, so now you can just keep clicking generate, without having to write a little bit in between. And you get Jarvis command. Let's talk about what each one of these is real quick. So increased vision or increased look back. With the Pro mode, up until now, we've had a max input of 600 characters. And so, if your cursor's here, I can only see back about that far there. It leads to duplicate content. You can forget what's written before, and it's harder to follow the pattern, because really what Jarvis does is he follows patterns. And if I were, say, at the bottom of this document down here writing, oops, can't get that. Hold on here. If I were at the bottom of that document writing, and Jarvis could see the whole thing, well, he would know, okay, this looks like a blog. It's got a title. It's got an intro paragraph. And the pattern is header, paragraph, paragraph. Header, paragraph, paragraph. And when he sees that, and I ask him to generate from the end of this word saying, he's much more likely to generate another paragraph, right? Because that's the pattern that has been set. Now, if Jarvis hasn't seen that, if maybe he only looks up 600 characters and he can only see up to this point, well, the pattern he sees is, paragraph, header, paragraph. Now, what's he more likely to write when I click that? Oh, you guys can't see my screen? Oh, you can't see it. He's probably more likely to write another header, because he can't. That's the pattern that he sees in his window there. And so it's really, really critical and much better if he can see more. And so we're always trying to figure out how to expand that out. Now, it's expensive for us to do that. But I think it is better for some use cases here. And so that's what Boss Mode gives you there. So now Jarvis can see 2,000 to 3,000 characters up. And so up to 5 times larger vision area. If he's down here, he can see, several different sections, a lot more stuff, and you can kind of get the pattern there. You're going to get less duplicate output, because again, the part of the reason that duplicate output happens, like the core reason, is because Jarvis thinks that's the pattern. So if you've got one intro paragraph and you run Jarvis, well, he's looking at that and he's got to decide, okay, is the pattern that I just want me to write that sentence there, that you just want me to copy what you have above, and maybe the pattern is, all we do is we rewrite this intro paragraph over and over and over. Is that the pattern? Or is the pattern that, you want him to continue writing? Obviously, the pattern is that you want him to continue writing the majority of the time here. But he doesn't know that. And so it's always about setting the pattern and letting Jarvis go for it. And so if you're writing a blog post, usually the hardest part is getting the document started. But, looking at this, if, I had this, header, intro paragraph, header, or paragraph 1, paragraph 2, header, paragraph 1, paragraph 2. At that point, the document becomes very easy to write, because he's got enough context that he knows, great, headline, paragraph, header, paragraph, paragraph, header, paragraph, paragraph. I could probably just keep hitting generate and get pretty close to having him write out the rest of a blog post. It's not always going to be that easy, of course, but once the pattern is set, particularly if it's kind of set twice, so if it's headline, whatever, header, paragraph, header, paragraph, header, paragraph. If he's seen that pattern multiple times, he's like, great, I got it. I just got to keep rolling on it. Okay, so it's patterns. He's all about patterns, seeing what you're writing and trying to guess what is the continuation of this pattern. That's why if you want him to write a bullet point list, you could, put one bullet point, write out, whatever the bullet point is, go down to the next line for the second bullet, put the second bullet point, but don't do anything else and just run it from there. And he's much more likely to write bullet points now, because again, the pattern has been set. He's even more likely if you wrote 2 bullet points, drop down a line, had another blank bullet point, and then let it run from there, because now he's seen these 2. It's like, great, bullet point, bullet point. I'm far more confident that bullet point is next. And then, as he keeps running it, it's like he just sees more and more bullet points. The pattern kind of strengthens from there. And so it's all about patterns and what Jarvis can see. And that's why the increased look back is so important, because he can see more of a pattern and not just, forget what he's written up above and, whatever there. So less duplicate output, references the material above, summarizes larger content. So some people are like, hey, can I paste in, a blog post and kind of get a TLDR of it or a summary of that. It's been really hard before, because it hasn't been able to paste in that much, but now you could like paste in all of this and kind of in theory write summaries or bullet points or whatever off of that there. Just in general, it leads to much faster writing. Any questions about that while I'm on that? Does that make sense? I'm trying to be sure you understand maybe like what's the layer underneath this so that you can understand kind of the principle of it. And you're not just trying to memorize little tidbits here. Cool. Making sense. Awesome. No questions. Let's roll. Unlock compose button. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't have to see this pesky green bar anymore. It will be unlocked. And actually, I guess we have a super cool purple gradient now. So this is the old one, but you'll be able to write even faster there. And then the big one is Jarvis Compose. And so we're going to talk about this. But basically, write me a blog intro that's funny. You can tell Jarvis whatever you want him to do. You can say, give me a few titles for my webinar, answer the question, how much protein should you eat in a day, run content improver on the paragraph above, write a few different book titles, write a song for my wife, etc. So we're talking about that, but let's talk about what Jarvis sees a bit more as well. So, in addition to the 2,000 to 3,000 characters, if you're running a command, this is important, folks. Please pay attention to this. If you're running a command, which is, command enter, or control enter if you're on a PC, Jarvis does not see the title or the content brief. He just sees the content above the command in the document. So if you want to reference your content brief and title in the command output, you need to copy and paste that, your title and your brief, into the top of the document. So let me show you here. So I'm just open up a new document. I'm going to start from scratch here. Let's say my title is, how to lose weight. Let's see what this is, how to write a blog, whatever, not that, write a blog post called whatever, how to lose weight. Blog post should be keto friendly. All right, y'all. So let's try this here. So how do you run a command? I'm gonna go to the pro tips in the bottom right down here. Okay, that's always there. You can see that. Let's run a command. So let me do this. Write an intro paragraph. Let's do that. Let's see what happens. Write an intro paragraph. I'm going to hold command. I'm going to hit enter or control enter on a PC. Nothing to do with what I'm talking about, right? You're like, Jarvis is an idiot. This is a scam. I'm out of here, Dave. Well, hold on. Jarvis just can't see any of this over here. And this is something confusing. And we're going to work on the UI of this. We're probably going to add a little checkbox over here to where you could like make it where you can see it or not. The reason that we don't let him see it is because we found, at least initially, if we do always send that in, you'll be halfway down through your keto blog post and he'll still be spitting out stuff about your content brief that you're like, this is not helpful. Why is he like talking about the beginning of it? Why is he writing intro paragraphs and stuff like that? It's like, well, because he's thinking that you're maybe at the top of the document here. And so we're going to add a little checkbox here, but just know if I wanted to, see, I'll go back and redo all this, write an intro paragraph. Let's do this. Move this over here. This is my title now. Say my brief. I don't know if you have to write brief there. Okay, let's try this. Write an intro paragraph about the above. I'm going to hold command and press enter. Okay, and I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to do a little secret here. I'm going to do this one down here, command shift enter. So when you hit command shift enter, it's going to run it, but it's going to keep this in the same place so you don't lose that. I actually need to update the UI to drop that down one. Boom. Okay. What do you think? Is that better than the first one that I got? Yes, it is. Am I running a scam anymore? No, I'm not. Now he went from scam, this thing's broken, to holy cow, this is going to change my life here. And so he's got to really know, what does Jarvis see? And if he's being ridiculous, there's a good chance he's not seeing what he needs to see here. In addition, let's say I put this here, put the 3 breaks. If you scroll down here, you'll see that the 3 little stars prevent him from seeing what's up above. I run this, command enter. I was like, what does Jarvis see? He doesn't see anything up there. So I'm getting that same paragraph again, because fundamentally, if I'm doing this, all Jarvis can see is actually absolutely nothing. You can't even see this little break right there. So you can't see anything. You're basically back at the beginning. But this is a really powerful tool. So let's say you're like, halfway through the blog post and you want him to expand on something. Like, I use these all the time to kind of focus Jarvis in. So I'll have these all throughout the document to like get him to do certain things when we see certain things, or whatever here. So feel free to like use that. It's really all about controlling what do you want in your input, and what do you want Jarvis to see. And that's going to have a huge output, or huge impact on the output that you get there. Okay. Does that make sense there? Let's talk about the next command here. So the right next sentence, command J. So with compose, Jarvis does see the content above the cursor, plus he sees the title, plus he sees the content brief. Just a quick hint, you might and probably will want to change the content brief throughout the document to change what Jarvis is talking about. And so, let's say I'm back here and I'll run that one again here. Okay, I've got my intro paragraph back. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and hit generate. Hit generate again. Obviously, some of this stuff, is probably not true, and some of it's probably the exact opposite. I need to finish this off. Okay, so let's say I've got an outline, Keto is amazing. You got the one here. Now, if I really wanted him to write something about, let's say, keto makes you feel younger. Now, if I hit compose, Jarvis is taking all of this plus all of this and running it. Now, if I wanted him to write about, why keto makes you feel younger, it should talk about why keto makes you feel like a 5-year-old in a great way. One reason I've changed that is now he's much more likely to talk about that. And I don't know if he'll do that or not. I mean, there's a lot of content here. All right, so he's not going to give it to me, but that's probably good because that's kind of a weird thing to write about anyway. But you'll notice you'll probably want to be changing the brief throughout it. It's not necessarily a whole document description or document brief. It's really the content that's running out right there. Does that make sense? So just know what Jarvis sees there, and that you'll want to update these throughout it, or update your keywords throughout it as well. Let's talk about some boss mode shortcuts here. So the right next sentence, again, I just talked about this. Command J, Control J. Running a command. Some people have said, Dave, this doesn't work on mobile. And you're right. I didn't even think about making it work on mobile here. So we don't have a mobile way to run this, but we'll figure out a way to have a button or something like that where you can write a command. But again, the pro tips down here, you'll write out your command. You'll either do command enter or control enter, or you do command shift enter or control shift enter if you want to leave it on there. And he will actually run the command. Yeah, somebody did talk about the keyboard that makes it work on mobile. I don't know if somebody wants to post that again here. But yeah, we'll just figure out a more native way as well. Okay, command shift enter, I talked to you about that. Rerun the last content generation, Command Shift. So if I run this thing, or sorry, not Command Shift, Command /, Command /, and it runs it again. / runs it again. Okay, you can also just click this button down here if you want to do that exact same thing. See, it says, I don't understand what a command is. You will in just a moment here. The command is roughly, anything that you're telling Jarvis to do. You could say, write some bullet points about keto. Okay, Command Enter. Cross our fingers, lose weight and feel tons better, shed stubborn fat, improve mood and energy levels, get back in the freaking game. That's pretty good. See, so I gave him a command because I didn't want him to just write a paragraph. Now, if I just ran compose there, he's going to write a paragraph, right? So it's like I'm redirecting to say, write me this, or I could say, write me an AIDA. This is a marketing framework that's kind of built into the system on the above. Yeah, I don't even have to say what it is, on the above. Somebody asked, in the future, we have the option to add hyperlinks in the long form doc. We're actually just talking about that this morning. Yes, you will. And yeah, I'll give out the slides, on this as well. Okay, so those are commands. Okay. Undo, you all know this, Command Z, Control Z, just reduces that. Somebody asked, can we still use the asterisks? Do those still stick? Yes, the asterisks do. You place the 3 asterisks in your content to prevent Jarvis from seeing above that point, helps prevent duplicate outputs, and just kind of focuses him. 2 pound signs, place 2 hash symbols in front of the headers to encourage Jarvis to write a paragraph underneath. It's a little bit less important to do that now, likely, but you're still probably going to get better benefits. Really what this does is it lets Jarvis know this is a header, and it makes him slightly more likely to write a paragraph below this. So you may need it, you may not need that. I think with Jarvis command, you don't need it quite as much. Yep. The web or the mobile app isn't amazing right now either. We've got to move out this sidebar here. So that's going to be coming as well. Okay. If you're ever stuck, find those tips in the bottom right hand of the document there. And let's talk about commands here. So a few command tips. Right now, shorter commands will likely perform better. And here's why. Let's say this. I could say, write an ADA about the above. ADA is just to get it. It stands for attention, interest, desire, action. So let's say I run this thing here. Well, what's Jarvis taking? So he's taking all of this. He's not taking anything over here. Okay, so interest, attention, interest, desire, action. Great, I like it. Let's do this. Write an ADA about the above content. The ADA should be great for running ads and helping people convert on my website. Whatever. Let's run this, see what happens here. He won't do it. Oh, they're still doing it. But actually, I do know why he's doing it. This is an improvement we've already made, like in the last 24 hours, where he's gotten better at it. Basically, the longer you write, the more Jarvis has kind of a hard time understanding the intent of it. And so if you write a lot, Jarvis might say, well, there's a lot of words here. There's only one of them that says ADA. And he might like match to ADA and like that. Great, I understand the intent here. But, maybe you said, write an ADA about the above. It should come after a paragraph. Let's see, you mentioned some like other things that Jarvis might be like, oh, they want a paragraph. It should come after this paragraph and be good for ad copy. Well, it's okay. If I'm Jarvis, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, write an ADA, but then I'll see some words. Do they want me to write a paragraph maybe? Do they want me to write an ad copy maybe? Should be good for ad copy and ad headlines and, whatever. Let's run this. Okay, so the longer it is, the less, ADA is not a huge percentage of that sentence anymore. And you can see here, I kind of tripped him to where, he's writing some looks like some, add headlines, which I think was one of my prompts there. Rerun it. Okay, see, that's a good example there. And so right now, the shorter is probably better. And rather than kind of like filling up your command with your stuff, so let's say like I really wanted them to write about a specific thing. I could just put it above the command. So I could say, write an ADA about the above. And I'd say keto content about keto should be very funny. And maybe I put that. That's kind of a weird example, but if I do that, he's probably more likely to kind of include, the very funny and maybe like change the tone of voice on it, something like that there. So again, he's kind of like repeating the pattern. But like you can always add stuff and just kind of reference, say, the above there. This is 101. Will it be a 201 or 301 boss mode lesson? Yeah, we'll have more and more trainings about it, as we go, and as we even get just good feedback from other people here. Okay, yeah, make sure you have the content you want Jarvis to see in the main doc, not in the sidebar, and then commands will continually improve. And so what's happening right now is all of you folks are out there asking Jarvis to do stuff. A lot of times Jarvis gets it right. Sometimes Jarvis gets it totally wrong. And you ask for something and he doesn't do it at all. Well, what we're doing now is we're feeding in everything that you're saying. And you've got your long sentences, your short sentences. You've got weird ways of saying things, or at least different than I would say it, that I haven't trained Jarvis on. So we're feeding him all of that. And we're saying, hey, whenever anybody says this sentence, what they're trying to get is an ADA. And you should learn from that. And so Jarvis is getting continually better and better and better. The more you ask him what to do, the better he gets at learning and basically doing what you want him to do later on. So it's super, super cool that just as people are using it right now, we're fine tuning the model here. And so you should be seeing this get better, week over week. We're collecting a ton of like this early data right now to really train the system there. Let's talk about some more commands here. So, people say, well, what can I write? And the answer is anything you want. I don't have a set list. We kind of decided not to give a set list because I just didn't want to hinder you guys into thinking inside this like tiny little box here. Let's say I did this. I could say write a content brief about keto. I showed this like on the webinar, kind of a similar example here. Write an intro paragraph about the above. Write some blog post titles about keto. I'll need to have these as H1s. Write an outline, a blog post outline about the above. So, write. We'll start there. Okay, let's work on this. So open up a doc and it's a blank doc. I use blog posts. There's a lot of people write blog posts. This works for anything. Okay, so write some blog post titles about the above. I'm going to run this thing. Give me some titles. So real quick, what's the pattern here? So keto, there's keto for beginners. What is ketosis? And then he just happens to do like an all caps version for whatever reason. Well, the next one's more likely to be all caps as well. Just because he's kind of saying, well, maybe the pattern here is we write all caps. Okay, let's just say it's keto for beginners here. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. Write about a post called Keto for Beginners. Cool. I didn't write any of this stuff here. Okay, now I've got that. So write a content brief. Let's leave that there so that you guys can see that. Okay, write a paragraph about the above. Well, right now the above is nothing. And so I'm just going to pop this back in here. I'm going to put this here for beginners. Okay, write an intro paragraph about the above. Come on, Jarvis. Okay, so like, what do we get here? Well, we got kind of just a duplicate article or duplicate paragraph. There's probably some words that are different here. But part of that's like, well, this kind of is an intro paragraph. Um, so let's say I trimmed my content brief down. I trimmed this down. I ran this thing again here. Write intro paragraph about the above. Read to learn more about the benefits type of eating. So good. Okay. So I've got that. He went into like this, kind of outline, which we could have him do, but we don't have to. Write an intro paragraph about the above. Okay, I'm just putting that there. People seem to like, well, when I use voice commands. That's just native inside of Mac and PC. We've got a help doc on that and our help center about how to do that. Okay, cool. So write a blog post outline about the above. Let me run that. Okay, so now he's taking in all of this. What is a keto diet? Benefits of keto, how to do a keto diet, foods. So good. Okay. What is a keto diet? I'm just going to run this and just see what happens here. Sorry, I'm looking through some questions here. Okay, he wrote a paragraph. That's pretty dang good. Keto diet's referred to. And I find that if you want to write paragraphs, asking a question is a great way to do that. Some might say benefits of keto. If you maybe doesn't write a paragraph, you could change this to what are the benefits of keto ? And you might answer that a little bit better here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep running this because he like left off mid sentence. I don't really know where he's going. So good. And I could take the next one here. Maybe if I like that a little bit better. Let's do this. Okay, benefits of keto. Run it. Keto diets when used. Okay, here's some benefits. Didn't write out, 2 paragraphs, just wrote out 1. So the pattern's not totally set. What if I do this? What if I say, write some bullet points about keto benefits? Yeah, run that. You see, it's calling on the template that we have. This is really calling on the benefit to feature template that we have here. But it's like, I could put some of those there. Let me try this again. Write some bullet points. Bullet points about keto. Okay. So it's like, this is good stuff here. We can delete that just to clean it up. Questions. Somebody's saying any instructions using the voice commands. Yeah, you gotta just enable it in your system settings. I just have it where if I press command on my keyboard, that little thing pops up there. But if you'll search our help center, there's a help doc on how to enable that on Mac and PC here. Okay, so let me run this now. Okay, we've got a lot. We got 500 words. Looks actually like pretty good. You want to fact check it. One thing that's important is to grammar check along the way. So I'm using Grammarly here. This sets the pattern. And so if there's a bunch of typos in your content, then the pattern is write some content, but misspell this word every time. So it's going to like continually copy your pattern. So I find it's helpful to be, fixing little stuff along the way here. Let's run this and see what he does. I bet he'll either write 2 paragraphs or write a paragraph and then some bullet points here. Okay, either one. I can just do this. How to do a keto diet. I'll start it. Just the. Okay, and he's just kind of finishing that off there. Again, now he's writing some bullet points. He's seen bullet points above. So it's just all pattern recognition, folks. All pattern. Questions about any of that so far here? Is there a cheat sheet of Jarvis commands hanging around anywhere? I'm going to show you a list of some ideas about that here, and then we'll put something else together. We didn't do that at first. I want you guys to be creative, but I think a kind of baseline level of commands would be super helpful. And somebody's saying, is there a way to do, the command enter? Yeah, I could just say, write a conclusion about the above. Run it. We hope this article helps clear up. Folks, come on. Come on. Where the boss is at. That is so dang good. I don't know anything about keto. Whoops. I don't know anything about keto, and I just wrote a 740 word article on it using all that. So we all bosses now. For some further help, we'll stick around, do some questions, and I can show you some more examples and all of that here, but I know some people got to go. So if you go to the Help Center, our Help Center is great. Okay. There's a bunch of good documents in there. There's some good guides. We're going to be adding more stuff around boss mode in that. So go check out the Help Center, please. One of our friends, Chad, over at AI Content Dojo, put together this really cool document called the Compendium. I don't know what compendium means, but it's basically a really long document with a bunch of examples of this. Originally, that was in Shortly, the company that we acquired here. He was kind of building this all out for them, and really all of that applies over here. So go over to AI Content Dojo, sign into that, and look for the Compendium. He's got a ton of good examples on there as well. Real quick, if you want to get boss mode, just a reminder, if you upgrade now, it's not going to be $50 a month. It's going to be $40 a month per seat. You upgrade before Friday, you're going to get that. Plus, you're going to get this boss mode t-shirt. I will email everybody who signs up to get your t-shirt sizes and location and all of that the Monday after this closes. And that's July 12th. I'll send an email out about that. Must sign up by Friday, July 9th. Somebody said, what if I just signed up? I didn't upgrade. Yeah, just go upgrade. You can go do that now. You're good, Bella. Just go to settings and just upgrade in the billing section. Okay, so it's $119 a month plus $40 a month per seat. Do early adopters who upgrade get the t-shirt too? Yes, you do. And reminder, customers with a $99 month plan still get 3 seats. It's actually changed. I just grabbed this in the webinar. It's actually changed. You can see my post in Facebook about that. That customers who are on the $99 early plan, can trade in one of their seats and get boss mode for $99 a month with just 2 seats, and 100% 30-day money back guarantee. So just sign up. I literally will give you your money back. I have no need to keep his money who doesn't want it. It's just easier to build that out than to build out some trial flow for it. So sign up, play around with it, and you'll love it here.